got it better than us? Nobody!
We want to focus on the things that have made us good all year long, an intensity that they can't match. And the other thing is the ultimate disrespect is when somebody takes what's yours. And this is our game, so that makes it so personal. Dominate on three. 1, 2, 3, dominate.
I need 60 minutes. 60 minutes to me. 60 minutes. No business, no mercy. Nothing but stop bubble. You got me. We're going to ring the bell. We're going to ring that championship bell.
Ding, motherfucking dog!
The orange ball is on Mitch Jeter's leg. Good snap, good hold, kick on its way, and the kick is good! Yes! Mitch Jeter, with 7 seconds left, gives the Irish a lead, 27-24. Notre Dame is on the precipice.
Notre Dame has won the Orange Bowl.
3rd and 16. Mahomes roll it out. Looking, firing, intercepted. Picked up by Cooper DeJean. Gets a block. DeJean is in. Touchdown.
The Philadelphia Eagles have won Super Bowl 59. They have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs.
And now, welcome everyone to the Huddle Up Podcast.
You are looking live.
Hello, everyone. Huddle Up Podcast. We are live. It is November the 11th, 2025. Glad to be back with you for another week, and we hope you are doing well. Make sure you are following and subscribe to the show on all of our platforms. We're at Huddle Up Podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Twitter. You can also get us on Instagram at Huddle Up Podcast Inc. We are on Twitch at Huddle Up Inc. You can also hit the QR code in the top right corner of your screen. That'll get you to everything Huddle Up related. You can also grab your Huddle Up merch over on our TeePublic store. Sales run over there pretty regularly, so feel free to hop over there and grab some of that. You can hit the QR code there in the top right corner of the screen now to get you directly to the store. And also, if you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which we certainly would appreciate and love for you to do, you can hit the QR code that is up there now. So plenty of options to get connected with Huddle Up Podcast all year long, and would certainly appreciate that. Our numbers definitely are doing well. We appreciate the support this year as always. Devin checking in with us in the comments already. Devin, how's it going? If you are with us live, we would
What's up, Devin?
The comments there as well. So go ahead and leave one. For now, just me and Sean. EJ will likely be dropping by later, and possibly some of the rest of the crew. We never know when they are going to follow in. But Sean, how we doing this week?
Well, we're doing. Sitting in this big empty bare room. Had a bit of a bed bug scare in the apartment. Had to ship out for a night and pay a cleaning crew to come in, and we've been trying to get things back in place. Most of it is just nothing on the walls, nothing on the beds, nothing. Just very plain Jane right now. But we're back inside, and it's chilly out there, so it's probably good that we are. So yeah, that's going on. What's up, Devin? Good to see you.
Yeah, chilly there, chilly here. It's pretty much chilly almost everywhere. I had a customer at my super secret science job today told me out in the middle of the country it was out in the 20s this morning. So pretty cold everywhere here in middle November. So glad everyone's joining in with us here in the comfort of the Huddle Up Podcast.
Yeah, it is. And, we're going to warm up a little faster than you, I think, here in this week. But we down here just didn't really get to a full dinner. So if I take a few bites of the last few bites of my dinner on the show, don't hold it against me, everybody. I promise to do it between words.
We will do our best. But, yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in. As we do each week, we start off the show and celebrating the past 7 days in the world of football or sports, and we look at the best of the week. And Sean, let's go ahead and look back over the past week. What was your best this past week?
Well, I'm an NFL guy on this segment. I like to pick the best of the NFL, and there were some good finalists. I give a shout out to Devon's Dolphins. I like to give a shout out to them as one of my finalists. Also had Matt Stafford as a finalist, who just continues to tear things up. But my best of the week comes from college football, and it's not from a school that you would typically expect me to pick. But I have to go with the USC Trojans special teams, who, in the midst of a must-needed drive on a 4th and 10, pull a fake punt, complete for a gain of 10 yards that extends the drive, ends up leading to a touchdown that helps them win a game. And they find out post-play that the number 80 that they assumed was the punter, number 80, was actually third-string quarterback. They thought it was punter Sam Johnson. It was Sam Heward, their third-string quarterback, who also was listed as number 80 in the game, took the punt. No one any wiser. Throws a dime 20 yards downfield to a breaking receiver for the sidelines. And they're even making comments on the thing like, wow, that's a heck of a throw for a punter. And they're like, it's not him. And it's like, it's a whole thing.
What the fuck happened?
And the beauty to me is that this thing was set up weeks ago. Like they had the play designed 3 weeks. Like for 3 weeks, this kid's been wearing number 80, and so has the punter, and they just never had an opportunity to use it.
What the fuck just happened?
And the fact that you're just like, well, we're just gonna keep this rolling. At some point, this is gonna work. You're gonna wear 80 now, and he's like, all right.
Well, BYU's quarterback wears 47, so why not?
Yeah, why not? But yeah, and it was just one of those. It's just one of those fun. There was a couple other ones I couldn't dare pick. Clemson running a fake extra point, or there was another big fake punt this weekend. So a lot of fun college football trickery, but I think it was the planning ahead and the follow through. Now I did hear a rules analyst say,
good for you.
A rules analyst said that it probably should not have been allowed.
It's probably yeah. I think it's bad for him, and I think the Big Ten.
I guess the deception worked, but the controversy was I guess Mike Perea of the analyst said it as part of the NCAA's unfair tactics rule. That essentially, I guess, part of it is that a player can't wear the same. Two players playing the same position can't wear the same number. So normally it's not a big deal, but as soon as he entered the game as a punter and a different player, it should have been disallowed. I mean, the other team didn't have any problem with it. The officiating crew probably just didn't catch it.
No, and I think that's probably what it is. And now I think officials, at least in the Big Ten, will probably be looking for that a little bit more. At least,
but it's under investigation, I guess. I don't know what the ultimate.
What are they gonna do? Fine them?
Right.
Like you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna take the win away or anything like that. But yeah, I think there are some of those rules about the numbers. But yeah, definite trickeration on US.
It was fun. Part. It was fun. Way to go, Trojans! One time, I mean, I'm gonna say it.
Got to do it in a desperate moment against an unranked team, but nonetheless, good for you.
Good for
USC. Mike checking in with us. He says, good evening and go Broncos. As they continue to
the Denver Broncos
continue to do things. Devin, yeah, best of the week. He said his Dolphins pulling up an upset beating the Bills. It sucks that he couldn't watch it, but hey, it's always better to not see an upset than see a loss, is the way I always look at that. My honorable mention, since you threw one of those out there, the New England Patriots doubling their win total from a year ago.
And it looks impressive.
Improving to 8-2, furthering their AFC East lead again with that upset of the Buffalo Bills by the Dolphins. And yeah, they are doing it. They are playing extremely well and not looking back.
And Travion Henderson woke up.
Sure did. Mike says his best of the week, Texas Tech, putting belt to ass on BYU. Yeah, certainly did. And we'll talk about that possibly in a little bit. But Texas Tech getting a little Getting a little cocky there, the Red Raiders are. Their head coach making some comments directed at an independent team. We'll leave it at that. But some questionable choice there, but they did get the big win this past weekend. But my best of the week, and Jordan hit the nail on the head there in the comments as well. Omar Cooper Jr.'s catch from Mendoza in the back of the end zone, just one of the best. Now, granted, that wouldn't be a catch in the NFL, but it is a catch in college to complete the comeback win for Indiana at Penn State this past Saturday.
I saw some takes that he may have had both toes in on that catch.
It was close. I don't think there was a definitive angle.
I know there's a photo of him stretching both feet, and it's a very impressive display of physical ability. Holy smoke!
Good on the official. You know, like we've certainly given our complaints about officiating at times over the years on this show. But I don't know the name of the official, but the back judge was right on the spot, called it a touchdown on the field, which was the right call, made it easier to uphold the call. I think it would have been overturned had it been ruled incomplete. Because
I mean, I've seen shots of the one toe touching for sure, and I don't know how you would have not seen it.
Yeah, like it would have been overturned if it was called incomplete, but good on him for getting the call right. And I know a lot of people, and we'll certainly probably touch on it a little bit in the rankings segment coming up here in a second, but a lot of people wanted to dog on Indiana, and you can if you want. It didn't necessarily surprise me that Penn State at home, coming off of the loss at Ohio State, refused to get embarrassed on their home field by Indiana. In what we tend to forget, but coaching decisions and injuries and things like that, there is a lot of talent, especially on the defensive side.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
For Penn State, so they were
and behind the quarterback, their running backs and wide receivers. I mean, they're good players, man. I mean, they're not slouches by any means.
No, so they put up a fight. Indiana gets the win there. But another good week.
That kid's going to get a couple looks from some NFL scouts in the offseason. The way that body stretched and moved midair, that's something that's hard to teach. You can try. But man, that kind of body control is unreal.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So he got the job done in a very critical moment for the Hoosiers there. But let's close the book on the best of the week. Another good week in the world of football, Sean. But let's now move on as we're going to do each and every week here through the remainder of the season. Is look at the fresh off the plate, off the grill, college football playoff rankings. And we will start here at 25, Cincinnati, 24, South Florida, 23, Tennessee, 22, Pitt, 21, Iowa, with that close loss this weekend. Louisville at 20, Virginia 19, Michigan moves up to 18, USC 17, Georgia Tech 16, Miami 15, Vanderbilt 14, Utah at 13 for the Utes.
Did you say Utes? Utes.
BYU falls to 12, Oklahoma 11, and your top 10 this week: Texas, Notre Dame, Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas Tech, and your top 5 unchanged from a week ago: Georgia, Alabama, Texas A&M, Indiana, and Ohio State. Anything in this? We'll get to the bracket in a second, but anything in the top 25 that's surprising for the good, surprising for the bad?
Well, I mean, as much as I hate it as a Notre Dame fan, I know they're your second team. I guess it's always good to see Michigan rising up, especially after some of the years they've had here lately. It's not good for me. It's good for college football, though. So I like to see them kind of sticking it good. And USF Bulls.
Better than us. Nobody.
And right here in sunny St. Pete in the Sunshine State, the USF Bulls, good to see them getting some love. They had a few stumbling blocks. They were red hot out of the gate, had a few stumbling blocks, but they've been playing some pretty good football against some decent teams. So it's good to see them getting some respect. I think a lot of times the smaller schools down here get overlooked. So I like that. And I guess my one other, I don't see a ton else. I mean, Iowa, I had no idea Iowa would end up here at this point in the season. That's for
yeah. I
sure.
mean, 20 a week ago, they have a close loss to Oregon, and only fall one spot. And I don't know if it's just because there's not a lot around them to come up and bump them out. I know student of the game Kyle Nash would love to chime in about good losses and overranking Iowa. But I mean, they put up a fight against Oregon. I don't know if that says more.
I mean, it's hard to really punish them. I mean, unless one of those other teams below them did something great, there's not much you're going to do. But I've noticed Texas just keeps creeping.
Yeah, they're hanging around. I think it's a bit.
It does set up a pretty fun matchup this weekend, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll certainly talk about that. I think that's a bit of Arch Manning syndrome. To a degree with Texas's ranking. I still don't necessarily believe in them. I don't necessarily believe in a couple of the SEC teams that are creeping around in that top 15, top 20. But yeah, I don't think there's a ton of surprising stuff. Texas Tech getting the win, they creep up closer to the top 5. Should BYU have fallen further? I don't know. They got beat pretty handily.
It was not close.
No. So certainly could have moved them a little further down. But again, you're starting to talk about 2 lost teams versus 1 lost teams. I know there's a lot of opinions about a 2 lost team that's in the top 9 right now. But again, and the thing I always want to stress, and we'll look at the bracket here in a second. These are not the final rankings, folks, because
not even close.
Because last week, again, BYU and Texas Tech were 7 and 8. They are 6 and 12 this week. Georgia's 5 and Texas is 10 right now. They play each other. Alabama is 4 and 11 right now. They play each other. So these are USC and Iowa. They are 17 and 21. They play each other. So there's going to be movement. There's going to continue to be movement. There's 3+ weeks left in this regular season. So we still have a road to get there. It's fun to talk about things, but so much noise was made by Texas and Texas fans and Miami fans about where they were, where Notre Dame is. And when you look at the bracket for this week, all of that noise, guess what, Texas? You'd be in today. Guess what, Miami? You'd be in today.
You'd be in. Yeah.
You're lower than Notre Dame, right? But some could argue, maybe in the case of Texas, you get
what happened there. Miami caught Virginia. Was that the issue last week?
Yeah, because Virginia lost.
Right.
And so I think they would have an additional and then they're ranked lower than Miami. So Miami is the front runner. Now, again, they would have to win the ACC to actually crack the spot. But for this week, they're the higher ranked. So they're there. So, yeah, looking at the bracket, your first round buys, they are unchanged from a week ago. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Alabama would have your first round buys. And then your opening round matchups would be the number 5 seed Georgia. They would take on the 12 seed because they would be the highest ranked other conference champion at this point, South Florida. Your 8-9 matchup would be Notre Dame traveling to Oregon. Your 6-11 matchup would be Miami traveling to Texas Tech. And then your 7-10 matchup would be Texas traveling to Ole Miss. So looking at this,
no McConaughey on that, we're not gonna get all right.
Oh yeah, I guess he's here. He's lingering around.
All right.
There he is. We're gonna give Miami. We better.
Well, and who has a first round buy?
Alabama.
All right, thank you. So looking at these opening round matchups, Sean, what sticks out to you as the best? What sticks out to you as the potential worst?
Well, I mean, if USF wanted to test, that'd be one heck of a test there. I think the intriguing thing here, I mean, Texas Ole Miss, you get an SEC game. I don't know that Notre Dame Oregon is that compelling or appealing from like a national perspective necessarily, other than the fact that it's Notre Dame. I think your first round's hurting a little bit in this particular one. I mean, there'll be some fun games. Like I think Miami, Texas Tech would be real fun. But I think what would be more. There they are. Thanks, D-Bob. If we but if this were the lineup, if this were the card, I think the appealing matchups come in the second round.
Sure.
Because you have an opportunity for Georgia, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
You have an opportunity for, Oregon or Notre Dame.
Alabama
At the Horseshoe would be.
Well, so the second round is the beginning of bowl games. So those are neutral.
Okay, so it's not at, but either way, those
playing
two,
Ohio State, right?
Playing Ohio State is a big one. If Texas Tech would win, it would set up a in Texas rivalry there. A&M, Texas Tech, and then somebody has to play Indiana. So that doesn't really super work out there. But I think Indiana's appealing either way, just because people are either going to want to see if they don't belong or if
they're the kind of the Cinderella,
right? But yeah, I mean it's I think there's some signature matchups that could be made there and some big playoff moments that could be created. So it wouldn't be terrible. I just think your first round would kind of be like, let's watch some playoff football and then like see who gets the great draws. I think that would kind of be where it would sit in this one.
Yeah, it doesn't quite seem to have some of the flash that I think we saw with what would have been the matchups from last week's.
But I have faith in the committee that if it were they tend to jostle some positions and you're like, why is that team lower than this? Oh, for the matchup, right? Like
sure.
They will play with it.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, but the wild thing is, I think right now, the rankings are about as right as you can get them at this point. I know there will be some that will argue maybe Texas A&M should be above Indiana. There's some Lane Kiffin included that are making the argument that Texas A&M should be the number one team in the country.
And I think they have a lot of a lot of things that I'm believing. I don't know. I listen to that argument and I find it real hard to like argue back.
Well, and they have out of Indiana, Ohio State, and Texas A&M. Texas A&M has the best win.
Yeah.
Period.
And I believe the hardest schedule. I had to double check that. I was looking at the list. I know Indiana's not very high on
Ohio State schedules.
And Ohio State doesn't have much else, No,
I mean, Ohio State's schedule is being bolstered a bit by the fact they beat Texas in week 1 when Texas was ranked 1. But we've come to learn that number 1 is a bit fraudulent. And
now they're number 10, though. I mean, that's not.
They are, but again, as things move and shift, and not to foreshadow my prediction, I don't think it's going to be a close one this weekend. And I think Texas is going to get exposed again this weekend, which would then kind of hurt Ohio State's strength of schedule a bit there as well.
Right.
But I think what we're seeing is as long as Ohio State doesn't give the committee a reason to knock them, the defending national champions who are undefeated are going to remain in that spot.
Yeah, most likely. I don't see any situation at this one. If it hasn't moved at this point,
no,
I'm not so sure it's going. I mean, it would take obviously a loss would do it, but I mean, it would have to take a pretty narrow escape against a team they have no business needing one to consider that.
Sure. But yeah,
but,
I don't think there's anything super egregious. And I think it's because of how chaotic this season has been, because do I actually think that Alabama is the 4th best team in college football? I don't know. But the problem is they've beaten Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bad loss to Florida State. But there's a lot of teams with a bad loss or 2 bad losses. And while I don't think they're the 4th best team, I guess it's kind of hard to argue with it.
Yeah, the resume kind of says they are. I mean, there's not much else to compare it to. There's obviously part of me that wishes Notre Dame was higher, but again, you did lose 2 games. You lost 2.
You lost to Miami. You lost to Texas A&M. I get it's by 4 points. I get it's the beginning of the year, but you still lost. So the point of the matter is, and I've said it on this show, I've said it to anyone who still listens to me talk about sports not on this show.
Getting fewer and farther between every year.
It does happen. But the bottom line is, and I've even said it to Notre Dame fans because everybody's been oh, yeah, I'm worried about it. Miami lost again, and it's hurting our schedule. Look, first ranking came out, we were 11th. Second ranking came out, or 10th. The second ranking came out, we're 9th. The committee recognizes what Notre Dame is and what they've been doing this year despite those losses. If they win out, they will be in. If they lose one of their remaining games, they will be out. That's
that's
simple.
it now.
It's
There's
that
no way
simple
to
for Notre
design
Dame.
where you're going to be.
No.
But you knew after 2 losses that you had your work cut out for you, and you might not get there. But you couldn't be like, well, we deserve to be like 4th. Like, you knew darn well that you were going to be lucky to get in, and now they're here, and now you just try to do what you can with it, I guess.
Yeah, just try to keep winning. You have 3 games left, probably the hardest of the 3 coming up this week. We'll talk about it in just a second. But yeah, it's a snapshot of where we are right now, and at least this week, because last week it wasn't the case. We saw the committee have to go beyond 25 to get that 12 seed in. This year, this week, South Florida at least ranked 24th in the country. You have a ranked team in that last spot. One interesting tidbit that I saw people point out as some of these top teams in the ACC have continued to get picked off. Virginia lost this week. Georgia Tech had lost. There is a scenario, Sean, and I didn't even realize this myself, where it's not necessarily like the 4 Power 4 teams and then the best of the group of 5. It's the 5 highest ranked conference champions. So say the ACC starts knocking,
if they fall below 2 other conferences.
Correct. You could have a Conference USA and an American Conference champion over in ACC. So that's an interesting tidbit that I wasn't aware of, and that's
oh wow. So the Big 4 aren't locked in.
The Big 4 are not locked in. It is just the 5 highest ranked. So I actually like that.
That makes it way more exciting,
because that was always my fear, is you were going to have again, hypothetically, I keep throwing the same conference under the bus. Look, this one's for you, Kyle. The ACC. That you were going to have an ACC team that fell so far down, but automatically got locked in because they were a conference champion, and that's not necessarily the case. But anything else bracket wise for this week, Sean?
No. I think we touched on it pretty good there. Let's close it out.
There we go. And again, that is a snapshot of where we are. This is the second of the college football playoff brackets. We will have at least 3 or 4 more before the final one after conference championship weekend. So get as mad as you want about them. It'll be completely different next week. That's always my best advice. But all right, let's dive into the world of college football. And as the college football on ABC theme plays, that is going to be a theme here throughout the pick'ems this week. And we will start where College Game Day hails from this weekend. Western Pennsylvania. It's number 9, Notre Dame. They are 7-2, and 11.5 point favorite on the road at number 22, Pitt, who is 7-2 as well. This one noon on ABC. Your over/under, Sean, is 55.5.
Man, I hate that College Game Day's there. Tells them it's going to be real important. I don't want it to be important. just business as usual. Go get them. 11.5 is a big number, but I don't know how much I believe in Pitt at 7-2. I think both teams are gonna score. I'll take the over at 55.5. I'm just looking at that 11.5. What the heck? We got to keep making statements. We got past my scariest one. This is the next scariest one. Give me Notre Dame, not by a. This isn't 30 that I was an impossible touchable number. I think Notre Dame can win this by 2 touchdowns. I'll take them.
Yeah, I think Navy was the scariest one. As I think Mike Golick Jr. put it on Twitter. For those of us that lived through the 2010s, it's refreshing to see a Notre Dame team put Navy away early again. Because there was a lot of years where either A, it came down to the end, or B, we actually lost, which was something that I still never had thought I would see, but we saw way too many times in our lifetime. Looking at Pitt's schedule, they started the year wins over Duquesne and Central Michigan. They then lost to West Virginia and Louisville. They've rattled off 5 straight over Boston College, Florida State, Syracuse, NC State, and Stanford. So some similar names that we've seen on our schedule, but close games against Florida State, kind of a close-ish game against Stanford 2 weeks ago. They've had time to prepare, but I just when the calendar turns to November, there's been so much time in our life as Notre Dame fans where things started to fall apart. Right. Under Marcus Freeman, it's kind of been the opposite. He seems to thrive in these challenging months. So as we did last year, as we've had to do again this year, I put my faith in Marcus Freeman and this coaching staff. Weather looks fine for Saturday. There's no worries about that. So I like Notre Dame.
I like when a team is back against the wall, and it's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, and just scrap out of the corner. I like this mentality. Defense has been playing great. Offense seemed to have woken up. So I think we're back to playing where we want to be on both sides of the ball. I think we get the job done. I'm like you, Sean. I'm going to take Notre Dame to even cover that 11.5, and I will also take the over because I think there is going to be points scored in this game. Devin has Notre Dame and the over as well. Staying on ABC, we move to 3:30 Eastern time. It is number 11 Oklahoma. They are 7-2. They travel to number 4 Alabama, who is 8-1, a 6-point home favorite for that team.
Alabama.
And 45.5 is your over/under on this one, Sean.
Oklahoma just keeps creeping into these games. They've played a lot of ranked opponents. These picks always have Oklahoma in them. Oklahoma at times has had me worried about them, and I haven't picked them. And other times I'm completely sold on them. But the one thing I've been sold on, whether or not we think they're the 4th best team in the country or not, is Alabama is back. Much like Michigan being back, being good for college football. I think when Alabama's up at the top, I don't want to see them win a national championship or anything, but I definitely enjoy that. I think Oklahoma may keep this close for a while, but I think push comes to shove in Alabama. I'm going to take the Tide to pull away. I'm going to say roll Tide. I'm going to say roll Tide. Take the 6 points, way over that. 45.5. That feels low. So with my gut, I'm going to go over, but I think there's probably a reason it's 45.5. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah,
it makes me uncomfortable.
Okay, yeah. Devin has Alabama in the over. Oklahoma just keeps lingering around, and they at times have flashed brilliance, and Mateer looked really good early, and they looked like a team that was going to really challenge for the SEC title, and then Mateer got hurt, and they didn't put it all back together, and they haven't totally got it going yet. And I hate it because I don't, it's flashbacks of too many years where we've seen this team near the top. But I think the Tide are just too good in this one, and you're going to start to see at this point of the season, you're going to start to see some of these teams that have lingered around because of their name or because they beat the right team at a certain point of the year. I think Oklahoma lingering it here has helped Texas's ranking.
Well, they've been testing their luck, and they're just like creeping by in close games. Yeah,
everybody's just kind of lingering, and I think that ends this week. I will take a slight over because I think Alabama actually really slowed down that Oklahoma offense, and I will take Alabama to cover.
Alabama.
We move our only game outside of ABC. So if you are still embroiled in the YouTube TV Disney battle, good luck seeing most of these games. But we move to the Big Ten Network, 3:30 Eastern time. It is number 21 Iowa. They travel. They are 6-3, and they travel to the Coliseum to number 17 USC, who is 7-2, a 6.5 point home favorite. You're over under on this one, Sean, 49.5.
Yeah, I mean, Iowa's kind of got a feel-good story going right now, and a strong surge here late in the year with some, like we pointed out earlier, like a signature win or two to kind of hang their hat on. I think they're a team that needs to limit your scoring. I think they're a team that needs to, I don't want to say get caught in a low-scoring game, but I just don't know that they have the offensive firepower to keep up with some of these high octane teams. And unfortunately, I think in this scenario, I think they're up against one. I don't think USC is one of the best offenses in the country by any means, but when I've watched them play, there's a lot of speed there. We know they're willing to use trickery and potential cheating to win, even in small games, as I pointed out earlier. It's another one of those teams. I think USC is trying to get into that tournament, and I think with 2 losses, if they can get another strong win or two here, I think that they could push depending who loses. And it's one of those teams, like I said, that college football is better when they're good, and I think they are. Give me USC to cover 6.5 points at 49.5. I'm gonna take a slight under, even though I just talked about how much I like USC's offense. I'm not sure Iowa's going to keep up in this one, and I think their defense may limit USC a bit.
So an interesting thing with Iowa being 6-3, they've won easily against the likes of U of Albany, UMass, Rutgers, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. They struggled out a win against Penn State. Their 3 losses to number 16 Iowa State, then number 11, now number 2 Indiana, and then number 9, and now number 8 Oregon. The interesting thing in those 3 losses, playing the 3 teams better than them, the scores in those games were 16-13, 20-15, and 18-16. Mm-hmm. When Iowa needs to step up to the plate, their defense answers the call. Their offense does not answer the call.
No.
But they answered enough to keep it close. And maybe that's more of a product of the defense. So I am taking Iowa to cover the 6.5, and I will take the under because that's what Iowa does in these games, right? Like
Nothing is over.
USC will win, but it will look less than impressive, and it will be closer than it should be. Iowa will keep it close, but they will fall. Devin, much like me, he has Iowa in the under. I think he's going with the same logic there. And then last one, let's go back to the ABC network. It is 7:30 Eastern time in the SEC. Number 10, Texas. They are 7-2. They travel to number 5, Georgia, between the hedges, 8-1. They are a 6-point home favorite. Your over/under is 48.5.
All right, so 48.5. I was all about the over until I was like reassessing who's in this game. No, give me the over, 40.5. I'll go with my gut there. I know you are already leading one way based on some previous sentences uttered on the show. I love Georgia. I know how hard that place is to play. And Georgia has been kind of the cream of the crop. Now Alabama may be it. Who knows? But I've got a sneaky feeling.
Alabama!
I've got a sneaky feeling that Texas isn't going away. That Texas is going to just be another SEC team muddling this tournament and just hanging around. We're just going to fill it up with more SEC. Arch Manning's not going away. Plus, I had him at the end of my tournament at the beginning of the season, so I need him to be there. I like Texas at the very least to cover that 6 points. But I think there is a chance that they just come in there and they sneak one out, and then both teams are just still in.
All right.
So yeah, Matt, I'm with you. I'm with you, McConaughey. Let's go Horns. We're gonna shock the world this week.
What's the thing? If Georgia wins, Texas is done. If Texas wins, both of them are still very much
alive. Yeah,
very much alive. So if you're tired of the SEC, you're rooting Bulldogs this week.
Yeah,
you're rooting Bulldogs and you're rooting for the Crimson Tide because that will effectively eliminate Texas and Oklahoma from the dance. Like that gets them out of it. Then you'll have to worry about Vanderbilt because they're going to keep lingering until if and when they lose. But that we'll deal with that at a later date. Devin has Georgia and the over. Look, Texas has had impressive wins over San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston.
Hey, Sam Houston's a big guy. He
is. He's a very big man. I'll even give them Oklahoma. I'll give them Oklahoma. That was 23-6. They have had close wins against Kentucky and Mississippi State and Vanderbilt. They've lost to Florida and, of course, Ohio State. I guess it was early in the year. Arch Manning was still figuring it out. Offensive line was still figuring it out. I'm not saying Texas is a bad team. What I am saying is the media loves themselves some Mannings, okay? And the more they could try to sneak Arch Manning and another Manning. Remember, this is ESPN. ESPN, they run the show. They run the playoff ranking show. They own the rights to the playoff matchups, the games, the bowls. They have the Manning cast. You don't think they want to have a special Manning cast for a bowl game? Like everything they can do to try, they will. But the one thing they can't account for is on the field, 60 minutes, once the ball kicks off. Georgia is just that much better. Georgia covers, Georgia wins, and I will take the under because Texas won't score enough to get that score over. I think this just wipes Texas off the map and further solidifies who the power is in the SEC and who it is not. So that is where we will leave. Sorry, Matthew McConaughey. I need to find like a Georgia. There's got to be.
Yeah, there's got to be something. There's got about a bulldog, something about
sort of Georgia. I mean, just have to get a bulldog barking. I'll leave that down. Like a Georgia sound bite.
We need something, yeah, because Georgia's always here.
They're always around. I feel like I should get an Oklahoma, like the beginning of the Oklahoma song from the musical.
Yeah,
probably should be it.
Just Oklahoma, okay. I think that's it.
That's it. I don't think that's exactly how it goes.
That's kind of what they are. They're just okay.
They are usually just okay.
That's
which kudos to them. Most of us aren't that. So
who knew when they were abbreviating that state that they were just predicting the success of their largest college football team?
There it is.
That's awesome.
That's
well done, Oklahoma.
Well done. All right, let's Sean move into the world of the National Football League. Bye weeks this upcoming week. The Colts and the Saints, just the only two teams. Will be off.
The Saints can't lose.
They can't lose. They won this past week. Even
it's 2 weeks in a row without a Saints loss.
That's nobody would have had that on their bingo card.
Nope.
Kind of a piece of news from this past week. Of course, Brian Daboll fired by the Giants. Can't really say it's much of a surprise there. I think the writing was starting to be on the wall. You thought maybe he'd get to the end of the season with the Scattaboo injury and with Jackson Dart playing well, but when you kind of look at and I know our pal EJ will be on with us here in a little bit. Loves the word optics. The optics aren't great when you have a severe injury to one of your players, and it was a freak thing. Jackson Dart, 4 concussions,
right?
Already in his early NFL career.
That's insane.
And when Russell Wilson hits the field, it's embarrassingly bad.
Well, and that's just it. Like I don't know how much one tiny
fucking embarrassing.
What kind of tiny decision, like who your second string quarterback is, would play into it.
Not looking at
Jameis, but when you're in a tight game like that, and the energy level is even without Scatabo, the energy level with Dart is high. Not as high as it was when they were both there, but it's high enough. And they're in a competitive game. You don't think that would look better? EJ's optics, you don't think they would look better with Jameis Winston at the helm than with Russell Wilson? Like, how has Jameis Winston not gotten the and I think and I'm not going to say it's all the only reason that Daboll gets fired after this week, but I think that sad, mopey puppy vibe walking onto the field and trudging down, and then looking at the guy that was like, yeah, I'm the one that's kept him at 2.
Right.
I think that had a much larger impact than you would think.
EJ crashing in here looking like oldie one Kenobi with the hood up there and the
I get it because he has a hood.
It's cold down here, buddy.
His beard. Yeah, it was cold here too.
Yeah, I was going to do the show outside. I pulled a plan B. I was like, I'm not doing it.
I actually would have done it. I'm not even gonna lie.
But yeah, EJ obviously is the alleged Giants fan in the panel. Daboll fired. I don't think there's much of a surprise there.
I mean, at this point, you can't be surprised. Like you heard rumblings for weeks now about like they almost fired him after the Denver loss, and John Mara had to be talked off the ledge on that one. But I think what really did it for him was not so much the losing; it was the amount of concussion protocols that Jack Dart's involved in. It was you didn't fire Shane Bowen, defensive coordinator, after the Broncos loss. You stayed the course there. So when you add in the little things on top of the losing, because the thought was, certainly in my mind, I was always saying that what would save his job for the end of the season was the development of Jackson Dart, which has gone very well for the record. They don't, if he doesn't get hurt in that game in Chicago, they don't lose that game.
Right.
The Giants right now should be sitting with at least 5 to 6 wins right now. They've blown 4 games this year, leading by 10 points or more. Okay, 2 of those games they were leading by 10 points more late in the fourth quarter. So, at some point, someone's got to pay for that. So like did I want Daboll to get fired? Not necessarily, but I understand it now. So it is what it is.
They did announce your GM Joe Shane remains
for now.
For now, you think end of the year he's probably toast?
Well, again, what may save him is that he's done decent with finding good pieces to build around. So that may save him, but who knows? Who knows how John Mara's feeling at this point now? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean,
is this the same GM that got rid of, let's Saquon Walk, and
correct.
This is the same guy, right?
Correct.
So I mean, he may find cheaper pieces, but he got rid of an exorbitantly good one.
Sure,
he probably should have gotten fired last year for that.
I mean, here's the deal, though. You look back on that, and surely the Hard Knocks off season, the clips and the sound bites there do not age well.
No,
I also think Saquon Barkley's mind was made up. I think he wanted to go to Philly. So
yeah, well,
I think as soon as they even considered a tag or, hey, would you take this other deal? Like when they didn't take when he walked in and was like, this is what I want, and they were like, I don't think we can give that to you. There's at that moment, and there's no reason for him to be loyal at that point. No. Like the man's done everything for you. He's taken your franchise tags. He's drugged your, embarrassing display of season after season through the muck on his back, selling jerseys while no one else on the team is a desirable. Like he was the guy. And when push came to shove, and it was time to throw somebody out there for a press conference after a terrible loss, they put the smiling face, beautiful looking, face of the franchise out there to kind of be like, well, we're working hard and we're looking to next, and that should be your coach doing that. But it's been a bad run, and the GM's responsible for all this. So he survives this too.
I don't know.
I
don't know. I don't know if he's surprised, to be honest with you.
And as an Eagles fan, I'm all for it. I root for the guy. I stick around, bud. Just like every year, I root for Jerry Jones.
The thing is, too, also
Shane
and Daboll were kind of like a package because they came from the same place, from Buffalo. So they came in New York as a package.
Buffalo could use an offensive mind up there. They had a pretty rough time this week.
Oh God, that was bad. Oof.
Daboll's looking for a job.
But like I said, the only good news right now, and obviously he's got to hold up injury wise. He got to start sliding, whatever. But we did nail the quarterback. We have a quarterback for the future. That's good news. Now they got to build around that going forward.
Yeah, they got to make sure he stops getting concussions because
that's what I'm saying. Well,
the quarterback of the future will very quickly become the quarterback of the past.
Absolutely.
If he does not,
he might think it's the past right now.
Well, that's true.
He's living in 1965.
This team has been cursed for 14 years straight. It's been.
I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about your team being cursed. By the way,
No, I'm not complaining.
Good. All right, let's get into the games. We're here.
Talk
in week
about
11.
curses. We only won by 3 points.
Win's a win, buddy.
Let's get into the games. We will start Sunday, 1:00 Eastern time on CBS. It is the 6-3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They travel to the 6-3 Buffalo Bills, who are a 5.5-point home favorite. Your over under on this one is 49.5. EJ.
And now you know why I say I don't trust the Bills. You see why? You go to Miami.
My God, I've been saying I don't trust the Bills for 5 seasons.
Yeah, I think we've been on that train longer than you.
That's you guys. This is for the audience.
Yeah, right.
I had Bills Mafia the last week, mad at me when I said, "Oh, well, do it in January." I don't trust you guys, and you're mad at me now, and then you put that shit in the next week. Come on now. That being said, tough game. Both teams need this win. I'm not gonna go as far as say it's a must win, but they need these. Both teams need these wins badly to get the season back on track. I'm gonna go Buffalo, but this is a tough game, honestly, because Tampa, they're tough. I know that. Ooh, I go Bills here, but best bet here is the over.
Look, I don't think it's necessarily must win for either team. It's closer to that for the Bills because they're falling in that wild card picture, which is still a lot of it's up for grabs. Tampa Bay still kind of holding steady a bit in the South because the South stinks. Sean, Bucks and Bills.
Yeah, I don't think this is a must win for the Buccaneers in much respect. I mean, unless your goal is to win the NFC. Maybe then keep pace, but as far as staying alive, not even close for the Bills, like you said, you're chasing the Patriots at this point. So,
right.
Of course, the way that defense plays, they're used to chasing people. So, that's good. Gosh, yeah, they are. Both these teams are up and down. We still don't know if Bucky Irving's coming. Probably not.
I have a friend of mine who writes. I forget that I want to say Fansided, but he writes. He's a Buccaneers writer, and Bucky will be out this week.
Yeah, I heard it was after in a conference after the game. They said he's not ready to take a hit, which is not good because you play football. So that's disheartening. Mayfield's in a slump. Give me the Buccaneers only because it's 5.5 points, and I might just win that on a cover. And I will take the over. I'll go with the over with EJ. I think the over is a pretty decent play here because the Bills' defense sucks.
Yeah, I was going to say
a good get-right game for Baker Mayfield, probably.
Yeah, or Baker Mayfield as well.
Baker Mayfield, that's who's been playing. We got to get back to Baker Mayfield.
But over is the easy play. Tampa, even without Bucky Irving, they have weapons. They're gonna put yards and points up. Bills will have to if they want to stand a chance. That said, I don't think they do. I don't think this is a very good football team at all. I think it says a lot about them. I think it says a lot about a team that they beat a week ago. So I think Tampa Bay wins this, and I think wins it pretty easily.
Whoa!
But I will take. Yeah, I think Buffalo is floundering.
I'm gonna talk right now. And Jim, not to cut you off, but if that happens, Sean McDermott's on the hot seat.
I think he's already there.
Yeah, I think that seat's been warm for a while.
I think his seat was warm when the season started.
It gets louder.
But
the
trouble
with McDermott is you're a defensive coach, and this defense is atrocious.
Brutal.
I wouldn't.
It's going to get louder. It's going to get louder for him beginning this week. All right, moving to 4:05 Eastern time on Fox. A huge matchup in the NFC West. My goodness, the 7-2 Seattle Seahawks traveling to LA to take on the 7-2 Rams. A 2.5-point home favorite. Your over/under is 48.5. Devin did have the Bills and the under in the last game, so the complete opposite of my pick. But EJ, Seahawks at Rams.
Before the season started, if you had told me Week 11 Rams Seahawks circle the calendar, I would have said, "Come on, stop! Yeah. It's a visual game. It's two good teams, but come on, this is a huge game, and this is a big game probably for the Seahawks because I think this is the game for me personally, to really believe them as a Super Bowl contender. You gotta win this game because I think there's been some separation in the NFC. I think the Eagles, obviously who they are, and the Rams are, to me, the clear two best teams in the conference. I think number 3 is wide open now. And if you want to get in that conversation with the top 2, you got to start showing some proof of that. And this is the game you got to do it. Unfortunately, it won't happen here. Give me the Rams to cover slightly in a competitive game. Give me the over.
All right. Sean, Seahawks at Rams.
Yeah, man. This is a flashy game. If it wasn't for the game we're probably going to be picking in a couple of games here, this could easily be the game of the week. I don't know. I don't know. And it might still be, even more so than the one I'm looking forward to. This is 2 red hot quarterbacks, man. Sam Darnold playing lights out. Matt Stafford playing, everybody's talking about Jonathan Taylor playing. I've been talking about he's running like he's 25. Matt Stafford's throwing like he's 25.
Sure is.
He doesn't look his age at all.
MVP candidate.
That back healed up just fine. But he's enjoying that new toy, Devontae Adams. I think with Puka back, with that. I hate to say AJ's right, but that's probably your number 2 running right now in the NFC. But if you look at my rankings later, the Seahawks are not far behind him. This will be a slobber knocker. Give me the Rams to cover and 48.5. I'm going to take the over. I know the Rams defense is good. I know the Seahawks defense is good, but they practice against themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and give the quarterbacks a chance to get out there and play. Give me the over.
All right, very good. Devin has the Seahawks and the under. Look, I mean, the Rams obviously playing extremely well and doing what we expected them to do and more. But I think you look at Seattle, they're doing far more than anybody expected. And I think there's still a lot of people who are doubting them. I am not one of them. I think this is among, if not the best teams in the NFC. And I think they're going to stamp that this Sunday. I think they go into Inglewood officially and win this game, take over the sole lead spot in the NFC West. And I think we're going to see a slight under, because I think if you're Seattle, the key to winning this game is to slow down that Rams offense. And as good as the Seattle offense has been, that defense has been just as good. And it's reminiscent of what the Seahawks were when they had their most success in their franchise's history. So I think Seattle goes in and does it. So
I will say they showed me something on Sunday against Arizona. Not so much beating Arizona, but
how
that they were only a 6-point favorite.
Right.
So you're thinking, okay, divisional game, maybe it could be frisky, close situation. No, they came out there
Never
like fucking gangbusters from the word go. That shows me something. That shows you're a serious team.
Fair, the Rams did the same thing to the 49ers.
Yeah.
So
right.
It's like it was a tale.
But I also think that the 49ers are closer to being the Cardinals than they are to being the Rams or Seahawks.
Right.
But you just got to,
right.
Now,
but
49ers, it's because of injuries as well.
That's
the Cardinals just suck.
And
the
49ers, Niners, they did come back in the game a little bit, made the game, one-score game for a little while.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's when Sean McVay's kids were playing offense. So
right. But again, they showed me something on Sunday. Doing it now you got to be a team that's above you, a team that's who I believe is a Super Bowl contending team. So,
all right, Sunday 4:25 Eastern time, a battle in the AFC West. The 5-4 Kansas City Chiefs, a 3.5-point road favorite. At the 8-2 Broncos, your over/under is 44.5. EJ,
and this is why they're my power rankings, because Vegas agrees with me that they're on the road against the teams 8-2 and still are 3.5-point favorites. What does that tell you? That I still believe the Chiefs
because everybody loves the Chiefs.
The Broncos are terrible. EJ,
they are the worst 8-2 teams I've ever seen. In fact, you'll see very very shortly in our rankings where I have
the Denver Broncos
or don't have them. And to me, it's simple. You got to prove to me that this is your time. Like, Broncos are winning games. They're beating that Raiders win was very, very ugly. They probably should have lost that game too. You want me to take you seriously? Bury the Chiefs, because if the Chiefs lose this game, it's going to be. I'm not ready to
Gotta get a lot harder.
I'm not going to say they're done in the AFC wildcard situation, but it goes a long way in setting the stage because then you got to play Indy the week after too also. So if Denver wants to be taken seriously as a contender, bury this team now while you can at home. For now, give me the Chiefs, give me the under.
All right. Sean.
Well, the Broncos are doing right now, just what they need to do each week. They're getting just motivated enough to play better than the team on the other side of the field, and not much else. And they're relying on a defense, albeit a very good defense.
Best in the league, I think.
Ironically, I think the best thing that could have happened for Denver is the Chiefs being a 3.5-point road favorite, because it's bulletin board material without the other team saying anything. And I think if you're Denver's coach and you're Bo Nix and you're trying to rally and all, that's where you try to hang your hat. Unfortunately, not only do you have a much healthier Kansas City Chiefs team and a team that's riding and a team that now has Rashee Rice with a couple of games under his belt, you have Andy Reid after a bye week, and that is never a good place to be. And I think the Chiefs know right now it's just get into the playoffs, but if the Chiefs want to have a shot at this division, you're going to have to take this team down probably twice. And so here's your first shot, and they're going to do it. They're going to go into Mile High. They're going to have themselves a time, and I think it stays close for a while, but that motivation level starts to drop once Rashee Rice breaks one for 40 yards, or somebody does something exciting, or Pat Mahomes makes a throw that no human should make. And I think that moment happens, and I think it's a pull away from there. Chiefs easily in Denver, and thanks to that easy win, I'm going to take the over because I think there's going to be a lot of points scored here.
Devin has the Chiefs in the over.
Crap, I'm with that.
Denver is, probably the most fraudulent 2-loss team we've ever seen. They are scraping by. They are barely winning. But when perceived good teams win, right? The teams that we expect to be good, Eagles, Lions, Chiefs, Ravens, when those teams have these close wins, right? Oh, they gritted this one out, right? Look at the fight in them. Like last night, the Eagles held on. They got the win. When a team like Denver does it, we go, they're frauds. They're no good, whatever. And we may be right. They may be frauds. But they are winning, right? They no matter how bad they look, they find ways to win. That game in Philly, no matter how bad they look, they found a way to scrap it out.
Knock that out, yeah.
Denver has the third best defense in terms of yards and points per game given up.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs somewhere around the 10th or 11th best offense. This Chiefs team, even since they've gotten some of their pieces back, have not been the same Kansas City Chiefs that we've come to know over the last couple of years. So you're going on the road into a team that is feeling disrespected probably by that betting line. They know what it is. I think this has the makings of and I say the Broncos are going to cover. Even if the Chiefs win, I think it's going to be that slim of a margin. Broncos cover. I think they get the win outright. And I will take the under because I think Kansas City's offense is going to struggle against that Denver defense, and Denver's offense is going to struggle because that's just the Denver offense.
The reason that's so, what you said that, James, is because the fact of the matter is when you're the Rams, when you're the Eagles, the Chiefs, teams that have won Super Bowls, teams that has done things last couple of years, you get the benefit of the doubt.
Sure.
When you're a new team like the Colts, when you're the Broncos who hasn't done shit in a long time, you don't just cut the line to trust you. I gotta see more. I gotta see more before I can trust you.
Oh yeah, I get it.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah,
I get it. But in the same time, it's like Denver, we just keep saying it week after week. They find ways to win, and I think they do it again this week. And then last one for the NFL slate this week, we go to Sunday night, 8:20 Eastern time on NBC. It's the 6-3 Detroit Lions. They travel to 7-2 Philadelphia a 1.5-point home favorite. Your over/under is 49. EJ.
That is a disrespectful line to the champs.
No, it's not.
Let me tell you why. You know the science on betting, right? Home team gets 3 points no matter what, and then
right. So you're picked to lose.
So
yes,
so Vegas is saying Vegas likes Detroit here.
Wrong,
Actually,
sir. Wrong.
That's for your about the being disrespect.
No, Vegas is Vegas likes Detroit here.
Yeah,
and I don't know why you that to me is disrespectful for me. I like the Eagles here. Detroit's been way too up and down for me this year to trust them fully. Like, they're a very good team. They're one of the best teams in the NFC, no doubt about that. But and I know the Eagles have been playing, haven't played complete football. The game gets Monday against the Packers, and it wasn't a pretty game. But like the Broncos, they find ways to win. The difference between the Broncos and the Eagles are champs. Okay, so they get benefit of the doubt. I don't know, man. I'm gonna take the Eagles here. I just think that line is way too disrespectful. That's, like, to me, stealing money. Detroit, another team that, while done some good things the last couple of years, still has to prove it to me. Remember, you lost to Washington in the second round of playoffs last year, and you got blown out. So there's a lot of that still there that bothers me, Detroit, that they're a really good team, but when it comes to winning big games, they just don't do that. Philly does. Give me Philly, give me over.
All right, Sean.
Yeah, I don't know about disrespectful. I mean, we have not been playing the superior level of football I'd like us to be playing. The passing game, whether it's by choice or just by situation, has not been. I mean, in spurts, Devontae Smith down the middle of the field. That kind of big play here and there. Now I will say this: Saquon Barkley looks fully healthy, up to speed. Everything looks great. That spin move in Green Bay was disgusting, absolutely disgusting. He just, God, it's so good. But I mean, up or down, whatever. I mean, Detroit's down. So if this becomes an up, Philly might be in trouble if they can't figure out how to score some points. So I do think this is, if you're a fan of football in the trenches, if you're a fan of the offense and defensive line, this is your game to watch this week and probably all season. I think, from the offensive line of Philadelphia, Lane Johnson, healthy or not, is probably the best shot to slow down some of that pass rush from Detroit. And I think on the other side of the ball, we have some health on the Eagles defensive line, might get a chance to get in there. I'm still going to take my Birds. I think they find a way to pull this out. And we finally get to see that game that we were hoping was the championship game last year. You caught that. But like you said about Denver, like, they're finding ways to win. And minus that game against Denver, which was incredibly disappointing. I think in close games, the Eagles have kind of figured that out. And I'm going to take what I think is a slightly better roster, and I'm going to take what I think is a slightly better quarterback. And I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. Give me the Eagles, and I guess the over on that. That sounds good.
All right, got it in just in time there. Look, this is not a disrespectful number. The Eagles, I get, we're on the road at Green Bay, but struggled against what I think is a bad Packers team. And you have a shorter week against a team that, albeit against a bad Commanders team, looked really damn good. Dan Campbell has taken over the play calling duties. I think you saw some rookie mistakes from the new offensive coordinator. So Campbell takes those duties away from him, lets him focus on just kind of, tweaking the things that need to be done in game and during the week. Campbell knows this offense. He knows how to get him going. He's going to find the spots to exploit the weaknesses on both sides of the ball with Philly. And I just, when I look at these two teams, I feel like the Lions are trending up. I feel like the Eagles are flatlining a bit. I'm not going to say they're trending down. They keep winning. But I when I just look at the two teams, I feel like the Lions are kind of starting to ascend a little bit. So I will take the Lions to cover. I will take the Lions to win. And I think we do get an over because we do have two good offenses here. I think it'll be enough. to get them over that 49 number. So, but yeah, should be another good Sunday night football game. The Monday night football game for the second week in a row will not be good as the Cowboys and the Raiders. So people who are still embroiled in the
you'll still watch, buddy.
oh, of course I will. I'm an idiot. But
glutton for punishment.
Well, it's our last chance to win for the year too. So that's
well, I'll be watching my bet to come through, which are not going to come through most likely.
Yeah,
so.
say good luck with that, pal.
Yeah.
But Devin had the Lions in the over there. Jason says don't see a Giants or Cowboys jersey on. Yeah, I mean, I'm still a Cowboys fan. I know it's dark. It's a Cowboys jersey from the 90s, a special champion, one in black, and up there is the Cowboys mini helmet.
You know what's funny though? I don't do sports jerseys much anymore.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen
I've grown out of that. I grew out of that shit years ago. To be honest with you.
Meaning that he got fatter than the jerseys he owned. Just never bought another one.
No, I think
I did that. I got fatter than the jerseys I owned.
Okay,
Okay,
so I do have like T-shirts of like the Heat and the Giants, and I have a Mets hoodie, but I don't wear jerseys anymore though.
Wearing jerseys down here can be
and I think part of it,
especially in the wrong time of year. Yeah,
well, I think part of it too is we're in the fall, and the van is drafty for EJ, so he doesn't. He needs to have a hoodie on or something.
So Florida's either too cold for the jersey or too hot for the jersey.
I rather wear bands I love.
He's delicate. He gets cold, Jason.
I do. I rather wear. I get warm pretty cold.
And I will much gladly. I will much gladly support Notre Dame at this point than my Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm over.
Jerseys are about 200. Yeah, if you're buying legit ones.
And then there's that part. Like,
which I mean, there's places where they're not $200.
Yeah, on eBay.
Yeah, eBay, PHgate, which our show's probably going to get shut down now, but that is that. But all right, let's get into the rankings as we do each and every week. We look at the top 10 and the bottom 5 in the National Football League, and let's start with the bottom. EJ, what is your bottom 5 for this week?
Bottom 5, here we go. 32, 28 the Raiders, 29 the Browns, 30 the Saints, 31 the Giants, and 32 the Titans.
All right, Mike this week has Giants 28, Browns 29, Saints 30, Titans 31, and Panthers at 32.
What?
Yeah, that one kind of surprised me. Not a good team, but I don't think they're among the worst 5. But no. Sean, your bottom 5.
Well, not much of a change from EJ, except here at 28, I have the Jets. By the way, Raiders probably 27.
Yeah.
But
27A.
Rounded out with the Browns, Saints, Giants, Titans, just like EJ did.
Yeah, for me, I pulled the Jets out of mine. Not because they're very good, but because they beat the team that moved into mine at 29 and the Browns. The Raiders with a pitiful showing against a possibly fraudulent Broncos team. They sneak into my bottom 5. Saints, Giants, Titans round out the bottom 5 for me. But don't worry, the Jets are there. They'll find their way back in.
I have a hunch. That Mike probably put Carolina's 32 because he had a bet. He lost money in the Panthers.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I have a hunch.
He didn't quantify the reasons why this week, but that could be it. That could be a Devin says in the comments, EJ would be spending thousands and thousands of dollars on sports jerseys because he's always changing who his favorite team is. So that's part of it.
That too. Like I say, money. I can't afford it. Can't afford it. Devin, you're right. I can't afford it.
Shots fired there. By Devin.
That's a good one, brother.
But yeah, again, I think the pattern here we've seen is there's about 6, maybe 7 of the worst teams in football. We have some combination of them in our bottom 5.
Yeah.
All right, EJ, your top 10 this week.
All right, number 10, the Ravens. Number 9, the Packers. 8, the Buccaneers. 7, the Colts. 6, the Patriots. 5, the Lions. 4, yes, those Chiefs. 3, the Seahawks. 2, the Rams. And number 1, the Champs.
Somehow there's actually something worse than Ravens, where the Ravens and Chiefs are on yours, but we'll get there.
Really?
Mike's top 10. He has Bills 10, Chiefs 9, Seahawks 8, Rams 7, Broncos 6, Patriots 5, Bucks 4, Eagles 3, Colts 2, and Lions at 1. Sean.
Well, I kind of botched mine up. I think I sent you a previous list, but we'll go through it anyway. I got the Ravens at 10, Buccaneers at 9, Broncos at 8. I got the which reluctantly at 8. I have the Chargers at 7, Lions at 6. My top 5 gets a little botched up because I eventually had ranked the Rams ahead of the Seahawks again. But we'll just keep it here, and we'll call the Rams pick I made earlier an upset because it's at home. Rams, Patriots, Colts, Seahawks, Eagles. To be honest, that top 5's fairly close for me anyway. So it being out of order doesn't really matter. I think that from the Rams to the Lions is my biggest gap, and probably for me, that those top 5 were clearly my top 5.
For me, look, full transparency, I wanted to leave 10 blank.
That's why I have the Ravens there.
But I can't do that because we don't do A and B's, so I can't leave somebody blank.
Right.
No,
and
the
Bears were my other choice. So you guys are right.
No, Jim, no. You refuse to. You can do A and B's. You refuse to.
No. There's no such thing as A and B.
10A,
Get out of here,
10B.
EJ.
There's not. There's not. You got to put your name on it. So I have the Bears at 10. They will soon find their way out when somebody else pushes them out. Much like the Broncos at 9. I didn't want to put them in my top 10, but nobody else could find their way there. So the Broncos are 9. Chargers 8, Bucks 7, Patriots 6, Rams 5, Lions 4, Eagles 3, Colts 2, and Seahawks at 1. And Jason in the comments already giving me shit about it. He says Hawks beat the Cardinals and they are 1. Cool. So I had the Seahawks at 4 last week. And they were above the Lions. I have them jumping the Colts. The Colts struggled against a bad team in Europe. The Eagles.
I don't go that far saying bad team. Atlanta's one of those teams that
they're a bad team.
They are the quintessential Jekyll and Hyde team that at any given Sunday they could be any team in the NFL. Any team.
No, that's the ability to beat any team on any given Sunday. Is literally the NFL this year. Just like any given Saturday in college football.
Right.
The Falcons are not a good team.
It's why
I'm not saying they're a good team. But I don't want to say they're bad team. Like the bad teams we stated earlier. Those are bad teams we stated.
Well, they're not one of the worst teams, but they're a bad team. They're still a bad team. They're a middling team in an awful division.
At best, they're a not good team.
Yeah.
That's the best
so
they
Colts
can do.
Struggled.
Okay.
I still moved them up because the Eagles fell, and the Seahawks again. You can't control who you play. You can't control that the Cardinals are bad. The only thing you can control is that you take off their arms and beat them with them, and that's what the Seahawks did. So yeah, and he says, can they beat the Rams?
We're gonna find out on Sunday.
Says, absolutely, I think they win against the Rams. So there's the answer to that question.
I don't hate it. Seahawks number 1. I would have done it, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
The Seahawks could and would can beat anyone in the top 6, Jason. But so yeah, EJ, the thing I actually find more egregious than the Ravens being in the 10th spot, because I will be honest, I almost put them in my 10th spot.
Well, so I wasn't being cute
Bears.
then. I wasn't being cute.
Ravens,
so
Bears.
when I did this, I thought I was being cute here a little bit, and then here is Sean, who by the way, this entire podcast, we're agreeing with each other a lot today. This is weird.
I know. I'm going to go. I'm making a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, go to therapy, please. You're fucked up, bro. Go to therapy, please. You need it.
Well, I'm going to see a
crazy.
psychiatrist and a physician tomorrow.
All of it, yeah.
Because when I look at the teams between the Bears at 6 and 3 and the Ravens at 4 and 5, you have Packers, Niners, Steelers, Jags, Chiefs, Panthers, Texans, Vikings. I think the Ravens beat all of those teams.
Correct.
Agreed.
Like, I think the Ravens are trending in the right direction.
Correct.
3 in a row.
All of those teams are trending in the wrong direction, or at
Packers
least
are hot
flatlining at best. But what I think is actually worse than the Chiefs at 4 or the Ravens at 10 is the Packers at 9. I don't think the Packers are one of the 9 best teams in the NFL.
So it goes back to like the whole by default thing.
You
like
would have
with
to
Denver and Chicago.
One of the 19 best.
I do think they're better. I do think the toss-up between them and Denver. I think they're better than the Bears still. We'll know more soon. But it's not like Green Bay is like, this is a team that had number 2 1 point, early in the year. So
I mean, here's the thing. When I look
I
at the
get it.
Packers, like they looked good against Detroit week 1. Okay. That's a team that has brand new coordinators on both sides of the ball. Since then, you've had a mildly good win against Washington. You lost to the Browns, tied the Cowboys,
tied Dallas.
Kind of barely beat the Bengals, barely beat the Cardinals, a 10-point win against a not good Steelers team. In the last 2 weeks, you've lost to Carolina and Philly. And it's not only that you lost to those teams, you've put up 13 and 7 in those 2 weeks. Like you're trending in the wrong direction.
No, right. Which is why
you can throw Jason's last comment up there about because I would agree with him here. And we trashed the Bills earlier, and I would argue that the Bills, even if they're not, even if you really break the Bills and the Packers are not far off from each other.
The one thing
they are very similar right now.
The one thing about the Bills I will say is who have they beaten? At least Packers have a quality win or 2. Buffalo's doesn't have 1.
Are you counting the Detroit week 1? I mean, that's fine if you want to do that.
You have to count week 1 because
the Bills beat the Ravens week 1.
I was going to say that, but that's the only one, and that's the only quality win they have.
Well, then there's the Bills' quality win.
So, and it took a meltdown on one side. What happened?
Sure, but I mean, it took 2 brand new coordinators on the Lions sideline for the Packers.
I'm surprised that what you were saying that you're like something worse than the Ravens and Chiefs. Like, what could be worse than the Ravens and Chiefs that you give me shit about?
I think the Packers.
I'm a little surprised.
The Packers being in is pretty.
I don't hate it. I don't look again. I was discussing my head. Should I put Denver in finally and whatnot? But to me, Denver is not. I'm still not there yet. I'm just not there yet.
I had him at 9 last week, and the problem is like the other teams kind of in around that spot, all lost this week. So I couldn't really move them in.
The team
to get above Denver,
right? I guess if I had to do this all over again, do you know who I put in a spot? The Chargers.
Yeah, I think the Chargers would beat the Packers right now. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because their offense is going to be able to move the ball against that Packers defense, and the Chargers defense, although maybe a little bit disappointing so far this year, would absolutely shut down whatever this Packers offense is.
Yeah, they've been shit last 2 weeks. I agree with that. If I had to do this all over again, I'd probably put the Chargers in there.
Yeah. And again, your Chiefs are too high, but I'm giving up that fight for now.
It is what it is, buddy.
Yeah, looking at some of the comments, Jason giving some thoughts here. He says, Rams, Colts, Patriots have shown me there is the top 3. Rams are all-around better team. And he said, sorry, the Eagles are having issues. Yeah, I mean, look, the Eagles are having issues, and that's why I dropped them.
See, I hate that shit. Let me tell you why. I hate the Eagles. You know why? They're champs. They're going to get every team's best shot every week. That's what happens.
Yeah, but at some point, you have to show that you're good enough to still be the champs.
Well, and they are. They're 7-2.
A 10-7 win over the Packers.
And when they beat Detroit this week, that'll be more clear.
Well, if they beat Detroit this week, they'll be my number 1 team again.
Yeah, well, that would definitely do it. That would lock them in. I think the one it's like a weak flex, but the one thing I pointed out to someone else is they're like AJ Brown. I'm like, yeah, well, the Eagles are winning without even using AJ Brown. So at some point, you got to figure out, you got to remember he's out there. You got to be like, and I'm like, is he drawing good corners that Jalen Hurts is afraid of? Does Jalen have a bad shoulder? Does he not have confidence? Something's not right because he doesn't seem afraid to heave one to Devontae Smith down the center of the field. He does that 2-3 times a game, but I don't see the same shots to AJ. So at some point you got to get him better routes. You got to get him in a part of the field that Jalen's comfortable with. And if they can figure that out, then that's what's going to elevate it. But I mean, until you start getting your arguably your second best offensive weapon involved, you're gonna struggle to beat teams. Fortunately, defensively, they've been able to do it. So,
and by the way, he was saying something about how the Rams should be number 1, probably whatever. Eagles beat them for the record. I don't know if you forgot that. So
it did happen,
right? But I will point out in this, same as I point out to the Miami fans in college football who still think that the U should be ranked above Notre Dame. A head-to-head win is a single metric when you put rankings together. So yes, it matters, but it only matters to a certain point.
It should matter a lot more though. Head-to-head goes along. Head-to-head is a big deal though, in my opinion.
But here's the thing: the Packers beat the Lions 10 weeks ago, right? So like
they're not better than the Lions.
That doesn't hold as much water. The Eagles beat the Rams in week 3. That's 2 months ago, bud. So
I'm not saying it's but it should hold some water, a lot more water than more weight than other things.
Well, but again, it depends on when the win is. Like and part of the reason why I would have like the Ravens over the Vikings is because they just beat them, literally just beat them. But like the Eagles beating the Rams in week 3 does not hold the same water as Ravens beating the Vikings this week, because it just happened. That's a picture of what these teams are now. The Eagles and the Rams are not exactly the same teams they were when they faced each other. So, like, yeah, it means something. Like, certainly Miami beat Notre Dame. We know that. We saw it on the field. But you can't tell me sitting here November 11th that you can confidently say that the Miami Hurricanes are a better team than Notre Dame is right now. Like, you can't.
Well, I agree. That part I agree with you on.
Like, I'm not sure you can confidently say. Like, you can say it, but like, if the Rams and Eagles played on Sunday, I'd pick the Rams right now. I'd pick the Rams
probably,
right now.
But last week, I mean, and those games were wire to wire. I mean, divisional playoff last year, 20 yards away from scoring to win that game.
And that was in fucking
field
snow.
goal. So I mean, yeah, but the Eagles again find a way to win, and that matters to me. And then when you're the Super Bowl champions doing that, you got a lot more leash.
This team is not the team that won the Super Bowl, though. You know what I mean?
I mean, the core players are, but the core is there.
Not even the same coaching staff. They don't even have the same offensive coordinator.
Well, I mean, yeah, because it happens all the time. The teams that have the same coaching staff, they
it does. But in my opinion, you also have to factor that in. Like, you know, like
we had 2 corners when we played the Super Bowl. We only had 1.
Right now, if you ask Eagles fans today, because I know there was at times they were frustrated with Kellen Moore, but would you rather have Kellen Moore as your OC or the guy who's there now? The answer would be Kellen Moore.
Usually, yeah.
So,
yeah. He made the mistake of his life, and he's in New Orleans.
Those are those hidden things that I think you do still need to take into.
I mean, I do agree with you. Like I said, if I had to pick right now, they played right now neutral field. I may take the Rams myself.
And you should.
But
if they played right now in Philadelphia, I'd have a hard time.
Right. I'd probably pick the Rams no matter where the game was played.
I don't know.
I
had a hard enough time picking them over Detroit, and that was
the weather.
The homer button probably was about as accurate this week as anything.
But in that case, though, Sean, the weather would matter because the weather did cost them the game last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, and Jason brings up another good point as well. Like the Ravens a couple weeks ago, just talking about how quickly things can change and where you stack things up. 3 weeks ago, Ravens looked like a 12-loss team. Now they're in multiple top 10s and almost made it to mine.
Right, maybe listen to me for the last like 3-4 weeks. I told you, Jason, that they would turn around. Everything they're saying, they're doing.
I'm certainly not discrediting you from that. I think we were all kind of saying nobody, at least on this panel, and if anybody was, it was more probably idiots on social media as opposed to people who actually know ball, because the Ravens, they were losing. Yeah, they looked bad. They also looked very bad compared to expectation. But the thing is, Browns stink, Bengals beat up in bad defense, and most people wouldn't let the Steelers pass the eye test. Like, this was always the Ravens division to still catch, even a month ago when they were still the favorite when they were in last place. So, I think we were all kind of saying it, all kind of echoing it.
In fact, I think they're still division favorites at the time, too.
They were, they've never lost that title.
Lamar.
Anything else from the rankings, guys?
I'm good.
All right,
I'm solid. Yeah.
All right, very good. So let's move on to the end here and do it as we always do to close up the show.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, we look ahead to the weekend that will be, and we pick what will happen this upcoming weekend. Sean, what will happen this weekend?
Oh man, let's see what will happen. EJ, you got it. You got one. I'm between like 3 right now.
I got one.
All right, EJ, what'll happen?
I think your boys smash. Lock of the week. You got smash. Double-digit win over Detroit Eagles. Lock it up.
Double digit.
Yes.
Lock it up.
Ooh.
Disrespectful.
Well, I know that.
My goodness, double digits.
What?
One of us is going to have fun with this next week.
Oh,
All
For
right.
record, I hope I'm wrong.
I hope it's EJ.
Right.
Like,
Sean
oh
just
my
got real
God.
scared there for a second.
Well, EJ's
Don't
high
buck
on my
yourself.
team. What do you want me to do? Like, I'm in full panic mode now.
I know ball. What can I tell you?
And I know EJ.
It's true.
God.
Fair point.
You sound insane.
All right, Sean, what will happen this weekend?
Oh man, I don't have a lot of individual stuff. I'll go with my most out on a limb one of the three. Obviously, McCarthy and the Vikings, fresh off a couple of good victories, trying to take control of the North. I'm gonna say that ends this week. I'm gonna say that Caleb Williams rides the hot hand, all but against some weaker teams, proves himself in the NFC North at least a little bit, and the Chicago Bears roll into Minnesota, and I'm going to lock in a victory for Caleb Williams and the surging Chicago Bears.
Here we go. Jason Ants here. He says, if you were Burrow, do you leave the Bengals or stay? Where would you go?
If it was my choice,
if it was my choice, I would leave.
Out.
Goodbye.
Look, much like another high statured athlete from the state of Ohio, if your team doesn't give you the help you need, you go win elsewhere. And you could probably go to a lot of teams that have teams that are more primed and ready to win there. But Devin says his lock of the week is the Dolphins continuing their winning ways against the Commanders overseas. That is the last of the Europe.
Commanders overseas. That sounds like a film.
It does sound like
it
a
does.
I'd like to see that one. What's that? 2 thumbs
I had
up on
two.
that.
I had an
Oh, my
NFL
God.
one. I had an NFL one and a college one. But, I kind of teased this earlier. After head coach Joey Maguire took a odd and somewhat cowardly shot at Notre Dame in his weekly press conference this week, number 6 Texas Tech will lose at home to 4-5 UCF.
Lock it up.
And you can hear Kyle post about that on the Black and Gold Banneret.
Ding.
Bing.
Good job.
My other one was like just like in more like fun because sports media will sports media. When the Eagles, I'll say if they lose, but when the Eagles lose, and the Cowboys win, the sports media discourse on Monday will be, are the Cowboys back in the hunt?
Of course.
Like,
of course.
because
on command, bro.
Because at that point, it would be the Eagles would
Two
fall
games?
to 7-3, and the Cowboys would be 4-5-1. So it would be like 2-ish games.
2.5 question.
Yeah, like 2.5 games. So like this would be sports media's
They're
shot.
right back in it.
They're right back in it. Big win over the Raiders.
It's Dak's division.
We're back and
job.
we're live.
Yeah.
That's you can already hear it. ESPN
Future.
first take and hot take or whatever the fuck.
Again,
it's called.
I don't get the obsession with the Cowboys. They're so fucking boring.
It's
They really
because
are boring.
everybody cares about everybody cares to talk about them.
They care about it because we're forced to care about it because they make us care
Because you
about
either love the Dallas Cowboys or you
Right.
hate the Cowboys or you
Yankees,
hate Jerry Jones.
Lakers,
you hate 'em.
Notre Dame, Dallas Cowboys,
Dodgers.
Dodgers.
it. Dodgers.
Also, F the Dodgers. I'd just like to get that in.
Yeah, fuck the Dodgers.
I agree.
But
I agree.
it's the reason why so many people, ACC, SEC, Big 12, like everybody's taking shots at Notre Dame. Why? Because they're the popular one to take a shot at. They're the most polarizing team. Jason, that's adorable. Pitt will beat the Irish. Good for you. Good for you for thinking that.
I think they will.
Come back. Well, of course you do, because you are a hater. But come back next week, Jason, when that doesn't happen. But all right, guys, let's close up the show. I mean, dude, Sean and I both picked Indy to cover the 11.5 on Saturday. They're just a better team. They just are. But all right, let's close it up. Sean, let them know where they can follow you.
All right. Outside of being outside enjoying the cold, as long as I can get back indoors in front of my computer, you can follow me on Twitter at Sean Shine State. And find all the little hilarious memes that I'm sharing on there. Yeah, you can also find me in front of the Eagles when they're on TV. So go Birds.
All right, EJ.
Earthsky Podcast across all podcast catchers. I'm on Twitter at EJChristian7. And yeah, Pitt is very frisky. I will say that they are frisky.
I mean,
but
sure, beating Syracuse without a quarterback in Stanford is frisky.
they're typical. They're capable of being any team any given week. But no, I joke around. But Irish will win this game.
Yeah, I mean,
is it in South Bend?
It's at Pitt. So
it's at Pitt.
I mean, it's going to be, that's you're going to have to take the crowd out of it early, but
I'll still take the Irish, but it might be a closer game than you realize.
It could be, but we will certainly see. You can follow me at Big Jim Sports, but most importantly, make sure you are following along with the show. We are at Huddle Up Podcast on our social medias. Get us on our YouTube channel. Please hit the subscribe button over there. Certainly would appreciate that. Grab your merchandise over on our TeePublic store. If you're on the video side, which you should be, we would certainly appreciate the subscribe and everything. But top right corner of your screen, that's our link tree. You hit that QR code. It'll take you there, and you can get all of our social medias, merchandise, all of that. Just go ahead and give us a follow, subscribe, purchase some stuff, keep the show on the air, keep us going. We love the support we've gotten this year. Until next week, enjoy the football. Stay warm because apparently it's cold everywhere. And stay safe, stay smart, and as always, go for the win.